Triumph Tiger XC. This is going to be a good one. I've really wanted to ride a Triumph for quite a while, especially the Tiger, because I really like the look of the bike. It's supposed to be really comfortable, like a touring monster, so we shall see. It's very tall. Oh. And hit my leg on the back. Oh wait, you know what? Let's hear it start up first. There's the dash. And there it goes. It seems to not really like starting too much. But that induction whine. Watch how quickly it revs here. I'm trying to get my hand in the shot here too. So quick. So let's get going so I can get it back on time. I will say that clutch is a bit unforgiving. I killed it once already, and didn't really like starting for me after that. See what this Xterra is going to do. Go Xterra. False neutral there. Yeah, the bike sounds good. These mirrors right here are pretty good. Pretty well equipped. If I were to get one, I would really like to have one with cruise control. Because if it is a touring machine, why not have cruise control and not have to deal with that? You know, those clamps that they use right here to hold the throttle down. Anyway, it's a very hot day today. You can see right here it says it's 95 degrees. It's also very humid, and I have to keep my visor down to keep the camera steady, so nothing much I can do about that. So sorry if you hear me breathing pretty loud, but it's just that hot, and I'm wearing my motorcycle gear. Whoop. Give more revs. Quite a bit of power. I had the option of taking the 1200cc out, but I was like, yeah, I just kind of want to see how the 800 does, because it's a bit cheaper and closer to my own theoretical price range, and probably a lot more riders' theoretical price range. It's a European bike and it is expensive. So I wanted to see, you know, if this is good, then theoretically the 1200 should be even better than that. So why not start with the base, you know, the benchmark that, and then you would at least estimate that the bigger, more expensive bike would be better. Love the tank. It seems huge, and the bike does feel huge. It feels very long. The dash feels like it's miles away, so if I stretch my arms out I can't until I start leaning forward. Then I can touch it. The windscreen's been working pretty decently. I think the way it's sculpted kind of helps with that. Red lights are the bane of my existence in this bike. I don't know why. I never killed the Indian. I never killed the Suzuki GSX-R 1000. I never killed the B-Strom 1000. I'm pretty certain I've never killed my own motorcycle either. This bike that clutch just does not forgive, and it never forgets. All right. Keep going. There we go. Didn't even put my foot down. Your boy is a pro. But the display's nice. You got your clock, you got engine temp, you got outside temp, which is now 96 degrees. You got gear indicator. That's at number 4 right there. In 4th gear right now, 40 miles an hour, barely even doing 4,000 RPMs. Lots of force. got your speedometer there as digital readout, little LCD. Then we have the fuel readout over there on the right hand side, kind of cupping the tachometer. Tachometer, very standard Triumph affair, looks very nice. Loads of little lights in there. I see a check engine light, ABS light, tire pressure warning, which is really nice to have on a motorcycle. Turn signal indicators. Well, it looks to be a cruise control, but I don't see any cruise control options on this bike. I know it's an option available on the Tiger, but this one just doesn't seem to be fitted with it. Brakes are good. Suspension on this is really nice. So the 800XC is the more off-road capable motorcycle, and this suspension is handling these bumps a lot better than the GSXR did. Very track-oriented, very stiff suspension kind of motorcycle, because you want that on the track. You want to be able to feel every imperfection. You want to know exactly what those tires are doing beneath you. But on a touring-oriented bike like this one, or the V-Strom, you don't want that. You just want a nice, comfortable ride. You don't need to be bothered with that. You're not taking it around the track, though people do. I would say about the riding position, the seat is really comfortable. It's nice. The leg position is slightly bent. Kind of almost the upper part of my leg is nearly parallel, but just not with the floor, but not exactly. I'm 5'11" in height, and I can kind of flat-foot it. I'm barely there. But then again, you can always adjust the suspension just a little bit and get that height down enough to where you could. I should have gone like a million times. I know you're probably watching this video and screaming at me for not, but what are we gonna do? Yeah, so I can kind of flat-footed. So if you're a shorter rider, you know, you really want to go to the showroom and then have the people there adjust the suspension on it there for you, show you how it works, unless you look it up yourself, and we'll ask their permission first if you can start making adjustments to a bike that they just have sitting in a showroom that isn't yours yet, and see if you can adjust it down to where you can flat-foot it, because you really don't want to have a motorcycle that you can't at least flat-foot. Very unsafe. It's got a lot of pickup. It's got a lot of pickup, I gotta tell you that. I felt the front tires started to get a little bit light back there when I was going between first and second. Like when I jumped into second, the kind of bang when I let off the clutch and gave it throttle, it started wanting to come up a little bit. So yeah, it's a very powerful motorcycle. I suppose that it could be hooliganed about. It's not really what it's for, but I mean, it can do it. One thing that I do have to say about, especially about this riding position, for me being 5'11", is that the arms seem to be a little bit far forward, so you are leaned just ever so slightly forward, and I'm having to stretch my arms out, which is kind of uncomfortable in the upper back. It can kind of cause a little bit of ache, so possibly a barge switch out may be in order, especially if you want to do loads and loads of miles on the bike and do touring like the bike's supposed to be, what it really is made for. And keep in mind that if you're taller than me, my arms are a little bit longer than I think they're supposed to be for 5'11". And all the shirts that I buy that fit me torso wise and lengthwise, like the arms are always way too short. They're always creeping up my arms and stuff. So I have to buy shirts that are a size too big in order to get arms that are decently length. So you may want to keep that in mind. Mirrors are pretty fantastic, I gotta say that. They're really good. All right. They put the emergency flashes up here on the dash. I don't know what the home button does. Let's click it. just resets your info right there. So you got trip 1, trip 2, info, which is the degrees, and if the bike's just sitting still and in neutral, there's a setup as well. Don't know what the setup is. Maybe it's traction control settings. Let's see what time it is. So we'll hit the interstate and we'll take it back to Triumph. But gosh, the bike is fantastic. This is my very first European motorcycle ride. I've ridden loads of Japanese bikes, you know, Kawasaki's and Suzuki's. There was that big bump from last week, or on the Suzuki. Here's another big bump. Here we go. Took it like a champ. Took it like a champ. All right, here we go again. Here, another bump. Boom. Barely feel it. And it's oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic. If you live in a place that doesn't have very good roads, like this bike, especially the 800C XC, because it's made for really kind of a lot of off-roading. It's more off-road capable than its XR counterpart, which is the road variant. This turn signal switch, there's good feedback when you click it, but when you click it down to cancel the turn signals, barely feels like you moved it at all, and so that's weird. Small minor complaint though, I gotta say. Small minor complaint. Alright, so here I'm in 5th gear, 50 miles an hour and 4,000 RPM, so you can cruise very easily. And this actually has a 6th gear, so I'll click it up in 6th gear. So 5th gear, 5,000 RPMs at 62 miles an hour, and jump it with the 6 and it drops down to 4,000. So nice tall 6th gear, though it still has roll on there. The roll on it is easily as good as the roll-on on my Suzuki Boulevard C50, which is also 800 cc's. But while this is doing it in 6th gear, my Suzuki has 5th gear maximum. That's where it tops out as just a 5th gear. It doesn't have a 6th for highway. But this roll-on pull is equal to if I was maybe doing 40 and I dropped it down to 30. I would drop it down to 3rd gear and then rolled on it. And if you've ridden a C50 Boss, 3rd gear is where it's at. That's a tall gear, but it's got a lot of torque over the entire rev range. You can do a ton of you know, piddling around the city riding in 3rd gear and be right in the power band most of the time, and really getting up to speed. 3rd gear is where a lot of that is done at on the C50. So 6th gear is quite good. Really do wish it had cruise control so I could test that out. They're going to be doing some more demo events. I'm going to try and come to all of them if I can, and maybe I'll get one that does have cruise control. I'd love to get to test that out. Interstate manners on this is fantastic. I think that the bike being so large and also being bright, brilliant white, which I think looks amazing, it's fantastic. The build quality, these, oh gosh, these colors, the branding, everything on this is just so much a cut above the rest. Like on my Kawasaki's and Suzuki's that I rode, like they wouldn't bother doing any of this to make it look beautiful. It's very so good. Steel braided clutch, nice. I just noticed that. Steel braided brake lines, even better. What was I just saying? Yes, this bike being so bright, brilliant white, stay on the line. Bright, brilliant white, and also being so big, it feels like I'm able to be noticed a lot better. My daily riding bike is solid black. It's blacked out, everything, pipes, engine, the whole 9 yards. It's all black. And I feel like even during the daytime that people just don't notice it. Like there went a black Harley Davidson. Did you see it? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. So I just, this bright, brilliant white, it's great for being able to be spotted, and it does make you feel safe, a little bit safer at least, when you're out riding around with all these cars. Got adjustable shock suspension right up here for preload adjustments. Very nice. Then you can just hand turn those too. You don't need tools for that. It's great, very convenient. Nice Mustang there. I think it's 66. This isn't car reviews, this is a motorcycle review. Or first ride. It's more like first ride impressions, if I'm being honest. And my first ride impressions are that this clutch is very unforgiving. Good night. Okay, you can't see it, but my legs are just kind of dangling. And as long as I keep the bike straight up and down, my feet were touching the ground. So, it's a very tall bike. Still in first gear here. Oops, turn the turn signal off. I would think that for a bike this expensive would have self-canceling turn signals. Let's see if we can look at the price tag on this bike. I have it here on the key. No, I don't. I just have the key. See, there's the information about it, but it doesn't show the price. But I think the price on this bike is close to $11,000 at this particular dealership that I'm at. So, I mean, $11,000 may not sound like much, especially isn't in the car world, but in the motorcycling world, $11,000 gives you a lot of options when it comes to what motorcycle you want to purchase. So, yeah, I thought it would have self-canceling turn signals, which are nice. I felt the traction control kick in right back there. Shows how torquey this little 3-cylinder monster is. Because I believe I was in third gear when I took that turn, and I just gave it a little bit, and I felt the traction control step in and say, what? Hey, let me help you there, bro. Why don't I just do this for you and just cut that power just a little bit? So, brilliant bike. Absolutely love it. I'm going to be taking it back here to Indian Triumph and Victory of Knoxville here, who is doing this demo day, which is allowing me to be able to come out and do this motorcycle first ride impressions review. Love the bike. Absolutely do. I would highly recommend it if you're looking for a bike to do a lot of miles on. Like, you can't get better than this. I'm just going to park it over here. Alright, looks great. I love the bug-eyed headlights right there too, and very high beams. Anyway, everybody, thank you for watching the video. Please share it and like it if you enjoyed it and know anybody that might want to buy one of these bikes. And I guess we will check you out and the next time we get to do a ride and review. Love all these little Triumph touches right here. That's so nice. And even the stock exhaust looks pretty nice. Huge can, but it looks really nice. Anyway, take care and ride safe. You know, and putter this. You know, this right here. I was talking about the GSXR not being a really good commuter bike. No, this is what this bike's bag is. It's commuter. It's long distance touring.